This is my China doll tree. It's lavender, oregano, Brussels sprouts, kale. That's a weed. That's potatoes, kale, potatoes, catnip, Brussels sprouts, bay leaves, basil, peppers, tomato plants I never repotted. Another pepper, this one's turning red. This is broccoli I need. Maybe I'll collect seed from that. Probably should cut it off. Forgot to harvest it on time. Brussels sprouts I need to pot. These are more peppers. Basil. Potatoes. Those are Brussels sprouts. This is one of my best heads of cabbage. It's lavender. My green beans got stunted because I left them in nursery pots too long. It's cabbage. This one got really destroyed by insects earlier, but it kind of recovered. I planted both summer and winter cabbage, and I don't know which is which or which ended up growing because a lot of them got destroyed. This is one of my pumpkins. It's the remnants of snow peas. I had regular peas on this, but they grew and died. And these are my tomato plants that had their growth stunted because I left them in nursery pots too long. It's more dead snow peas. These are my black beans, dry beans. I've never grown them before, so I think they're starting to, you leave them on the vine till they're dry, so I don't know how they've gone yet. This one got its growth stunted, so it still has a little baby. I really planted too much this year, and a lot of my plants got stunted because I left them in nursery pots too long, but they're other dry beans, and I think they're white with purple spots, but they might be purple with white spots, I forget, but got a whole bunch of them, so we'll see how they turn out. They're not dried yet. That's more black beans, more black beans. This is my next pumpkin. This one's almost orange. It's smaller though, but it's okay. That's more dead snow peas and beans. That'll hopefully be good soon. That's more green beans that got stunted. Looks like they might be about to produce more though. There's flowers there. These are dying snow peas. More purple beans. These are black beans. More dead peas. Another pumpkin. This one's bigger. It's potatoes and kale. This is cabbage. Can't tell if it has a pear site or not, which is why it's a little separated. Catnip, potato, that's thyme. Potatoes, thyme. This is cilantro / coriander that's now dead. It was cilantro, but the seeds are coriander, so I let it go to seed, and now I've harvested all the seeds and it's dead. It's potato, oregano. This is the second year for these oregano plants, and they really attracted a ton of bees. Like, there's one bee right there. The bees are mostly done, but they really attracted a ton of bees this summer. Don't know what's wrong with this Brussels sprouts. Maybe it's getting too much sun. I don't know. That's cabbage that's been decimated by insects. More potatoes. Lavender potatoes, oregano potato. This cabbage also got pretty destroyed by insects but came back. It's looking pretty good. Potatoes. This is peppers. I don't think we ever got any peppers from that one. Maybe we did. Basil, potatoes, lavender. More peppers. Weeds. Oh, there's some green beans on this stunted plant. We got like 5 green beans per plant. That's my mint bush. These are more peppers. We had a lot of green peppers this year, and they're starting to turn red, but I'm worried we're not going to get... That one's starting to turn red. This is a cilantro coriander plant that's was later in the year, so it's got a whole bunch of seeds that are gonna come. Peppers. More peppers. That's Brussels sprouts. I don't know. Well, it's obviously gotten a lot of slug action. This is green beans and black beans. These are my tomato plants that are finally turning red. These ones only started doing red tomatoes about a week or so ago. This is my sage plant. Yeah, and these ones are just now starting to turn red. These ones, well, I basically was really lazy with my tomatoes and didn't tie them up very much this year. And these ones were also kind of stunted. Not as badly as those ones, but these ones in this row were also stunted from not being put in nursery pots in time. Or out of nursery pots, rather. The ones in this back row, I had a lot more red tomatoes come from them because I started all the plants at the same time, but the longer you leave them in the nursery pots, their growth just gets stunted, so... Anyway, this is another pepper plant. Not sure why this one keeps doing flowers. That's thyme potatoes. That was cabbage I harvested. This is catnip. It has lots of pretty flowers. I don't think my cats really like this kind of catnip. They like another strain of catnip, but this one they're not really interested in. This is potatoes. I have morning glory seeds all through my soil because I put my morning glories in my compost from last year. And now I understand why people say morning glories grow like weeds. That's more dead cilantro, green beans, basil, potatoes, lavender, potatoes, lavender, potatoes. Another pumpkin. I got 1 pumpkin per plant, which I'm not sure if the plant does that intentionally or not, but there was 1 pumpkin that grew for each plant. Potatoes. This is my Buckeye tree. Last year it only had like 3 leaves total, maybe? That was the first year it grew. And this year it was doing really well. And I don't know, around mid-season it had these they looked like aphids, but they were black. And I just hosed them off and I got rid of them. But the leaves have been growing in weird ever since, and I'm not sure if it's because of the insects or maybe it needs fertilizer. I don't know. But this is my Buckeye tree. It's about 1.5 years old now. This is more potatoes. Another thyme plant. It's my compost in the background. This is kale that had aphids on it. A lot of my kale and cabbage got aphids this year, but I think I was able to get rid of the aphids. Had to cut off about half the plant, but I think I got rid of the aphids. It's potatoes, another pumpkin. It's our dead snow pea plants. This is my last pumpkin. All the leaves have this like mold on it. Don't know what it is, but it always gets on my pea plants as well. And this is more beans. And these are my tomato plants that have been producing the most. They've been producing for several weeks, but it really makes a difference. You want to get your tomato plants out of the nursery pots as soon as possible, because their growth definitely got stunted the longer they were in their nursery pots. But yeah, you see, I really haven't been tying my tomatoes up very well this year. I've been super lazy. Definitely gonna do a smaller garden next year, but it's okay. I enjoyed having a big garden this year. I had such a big garden last summer because I wasn't working because of unemployment, but this summer I was working and I had an even larger garden. But I'm just relieved I'm getting some tomatoes. I didn't have tomatoes until started getting them maybe mid-August, but they really didn't pick up until the last couple, well, I guess that is the last couple. Yeah, just the last week or so I've been getting a lot of tomatoes, so not nearly as many as I did last year, but last year I was much more attentive to my tomato plants, and I also started them 2 weeks earlier. But anyway, that's my basil. I don't know what this black stuff is on these peppers, but another pepper plant. And that's everything. Did I do everything? Yeah, that's everything. This is my China doll tree. That was an indoor plant until it got spider mites this spring. And I didn't want it to spread to my other indoor plants, so I brought it outside, and it lost every single one of its leaves. I had it back over there in the shade until it got used to the sun, and I was sure it didn't have any more parasites, but it lost every single one of its leaves, and I sprayed it down every day to spray the spider mites off, and I think it cured itself. And hopefully I'll be able to move it inside for the winter, and it won't still have spider mites. We'll see.